My name is Pierre Walters, and I want to welcome you to the Build Your Difference podcast, an energizing and inspiring series about living your entrepreneurial life to the fullest.
Hello and welcome to Build Your Difference. I'm your host, Pierre Walters, and I want to thank you for joining us on this very special episode. We are so excited because, on the Build Your Difference podcast, we are really trying to make sure that we are offering an opportunity to discuss important matters as it relates to becoming a small business owner. We want to make sure that we are talking about tips and tricks that can inspire you to make progress towards your vision. But also, and I think this is so cool, is we want to interview visionaries and leaders, people who are actually out there doing it. If you've had the opportunity to watch our television show and our video series on YouTube, you'll see some past interviews, one of which is with Miss Sharon Bryant, who is the founder of godsbestfriend.com. And I'm so pleased because after so many years, we're now joined again by Miss Bryant, who is on today's episode and is going to share with us an update on exactly what's going on in her world and in her incredible organization. She's going to share with us a little bit about her journey over the years, some upcoming events and things that she's currently working on, and helping us to understand the evolved mission and purpose of not just the organization, but her life and where she's headed. So without further ado, I want to welcome Miss Sharon Bryant to Build Your Difference. How are you, Sharon? Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Pierre. I am doing wonderful. Thank you for having me on your show.
One of the things that you told me about when we were reconnecting just recently was about this idea of the butterfly effect. And I'd love it if you could tell us about your personal butterfly effect.
Myself personally, it was, it started in June of 2025. I went back into chronic depression and anxiety, and I remained in that state for probably about 8 months. Just came around January of this year. And some of the things that I realized, while in that state of darkness, I really believe the Lord had me in a cocoon. I believe He had me in a shell. It's like a caterpillar. Before the caterpillar become the butterfly, it has to go through a metamorphosis while it's inside the shell. It has to be transformed. So I believe while I was in that state, God was transforming me. And while I was in that state, I experienced a lot of things, a lot of darkness, listening to voices and things like that. And while I was in that state, I realized I needed help. And so my family came together and they ended up putting me in the hospital for 2 weeks. And I thank God for that 2 weeks. That's considered a cocoon. While in the cocoon, I had to get the help that I needed. I didn't realize how bad off that I was. But what got me back to my healthy state is just going seeing the doctors, having a psychiatrist, physical therapy. During this time, I lost a lot of weight. So I was very frail. All this was to work and get me back to where I was. And so my bringing the butterfly effect is allowing people to know it's okay to get help. It's okay to be inside of this shell and allowing people to bring you back to yourself. Those people can be the doctors. It can be the psychiatrist. It can be your pastor. It can be your family. Allow the support to help you get back to the place that you really need to be, and that is the whole man.
Wow. I'm so incredibly honored and grateful that you are sharing that story with us, your story, this is really personal. And I've never really looked at it that way in terms of this sort of cocooning experience before we become a butterfly. And I think that's a powerful image that you are putting into our heads as a way of thinking about that process. But you've mentioned that in this cocoon stage, this is where God is breaking us down or remolding us. And
Yes.
I want to know, for someone who's listening right now who might feel stuck in their own sort of swamp, stuck in the dark of their own cocoon experience, what advice do you have for surrendering to that difficult remolding process?
My advice is don't be afraid. My advice is to allow your family to support you. My advice is, if need be, you have to go into a facility. Some facilities can be 3 days, some can be 30 days outpatient, some can be 30 days inpatient. And my advice is don't fight it. My advice is to embrace that you get ready to do something different, but know that in the end that you're going to come out better. I want you to realize that sometimes we ourselves can't help ourselves. Sometimes it takes other people to assist and help us to get there, because on your own, you're not going to do it. But with somebody that love you and care about you, it will help you to want to help yourself. So my advice is embrace the new.
Embrace the new. What are some of the roadblocks or some of the challenges that you think might prevent people from being willing to embrace that sort of difficult process? And I'm thinking about things like maybe our pride or our ego. I'm wondering, from your experience, what might be some of the things that people have to really overcome in order to allow that process to to be fruitful?
Well, for me, it's the stigma. And I say that because I'm looking at the Black generation. I also worked in recovery. And one of the things that I did realize is that our Caucasian brothers and all the other races recognize that they need the help. But when it came to the Black community, you're ashamed for people to know that you need help. You're ashamed that people know that you're inside a facility that, the world might call, oh, they think you're crazy, or, it's the stigma behind it. My point to you is I'm a Black woman and I needed help. And what I did was I sought out that help. Thank God for my family. I want us as a Black community to get over the stigma of getting yourself together. Sharon, is gonna be the sacrifice if I gotta go out there and tell all my brothers and sisters, if you need help, you need to get help. And if I gotta bring my face to the forefront to let you see, I'm bringing my story on social media, on God's best friend. I'm bringing my story so that you know I am sacrificing myself. I'm letting you into my life to let you see that if you just take the step, look at where I am today. June, this is my anniversary year. Last year, I couldn't tell you this. Last year, I couldn't talk to you about this, but this year I am. Last year, I was frail, skinny, wasn't in my right frame of mind, but this year I am. I came back with a vengeance to come back and tell you, I need you to get the help. I need you to stop worrying about what people are thinking, and I need you to see about yourself. And if you need me to walk you through it, I'm here for you.
I love that. You are so correct. And you're speaking from experience, but I know that just the observations you're making about how that stigma holds so many people back. I've seen that. There have been times in my life where I have felt that. So I am completely moved by the fact that you're bringing that to the forefront. Transforming from the cocoon stage often requires a village. And you mentioned that you're grateful for your family and your friends who you love, who came together and helped to provide you with the help that you needed. And and what I'm seeing is that, especially for those of us who are dealing with these heavy burdens, that being open to that village is so important. And I want to know, how does godsbestfriend.com, this is your website, how does
Yeah.
God's Best Friend step into the gap to help individuals in the community who who need help or who might be recovering from addiction or maybe struggling with their mental health? How does God's Best Friend step into that gap and provide them with help?
God's best friend was developed with you in mind. When we put this together, we was thinking about you. God's best friend is a well of resources. All the things that I've gone through, all the things that I'm going through now, I am listing these things on this website so that you will always have resources available to you that you will know how to navigate. I want you to know where the doctors are. I want you to know where the recovery centers are. I want you to know medicine is okay. I want you to know that we got literature that can help you grow. So God's best friend was developed with you in mind from my demise. And all the things that I've gone through, I'm bringing it to the forefront because I want you to be aware that it's okay to get help. And so on this website, you're going to find things from every genre. You're going to find things that can help you build the inner man back so that you can get back to so you can get back to the great potentials that you are.
I love that. Yeah. I'm on the website, there's resources. There are, and I think that's actually probably one of the most important things that I have experienced on that website is the breadth of resources, including personally recommended therapists that are sort of handpicked by you and your larger team. I found that to be incredibly inspirational and motivational. And even just your own podcast. Now, I know your podcast from a while back that I see on your website, A Sister's Love.
Yes.
I found that to be incredibly inspirational. But something that's so cool is that your audience has broadened over the years and that you're no longer, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you're no longer just focusing on women. You're also including some of the brothers, some of the men in this healing journey.
Some of the men, the children, everyone. We're not excluding anyone. This is for everyone from children up to the age of understanding what's going on. 99. We are including everyone. We're
Mhm.
targeting everyone.
I want to know, how does God's Best Friend, and my question is not just limited to the website, but also the larger organization. Just, I know, because I know you have events, I know you have activities, I know you have groups. There's so much more than just what we're able to see on the website. How does the organization offer practical guidance and resources that can help people build a foundation for true and lasting transformation? Just tell me a little about the broader vision for God's Best Friend.
Okay. The broader visions for God's best friend is always the hair show.
Mhm.
The hair show is called Beauty for Ashes. Beautiful actually is take the place of all the pain, the suffering, the demise that we have gone through in life. Beautiful ashes means I'm gonna take the ashes, which means the darkness, your suffering, your pain, and I'm going to replace it with the beauty of God. That is to transform you, to take all that we have gone through, and God is going to bring us to the beautiful side of ourselves. That's the draw. The hair show is to bring the awareness to homelessness. I mainly focus on the less fortunate, and that could be homeless, the veterans, the seniors, the children, whoever is less fortunate that cannot afford to either get their hair done, cannot afford to see the psychiatry, cannot afford all the luxury of things that we have in life. Those that cannot afford it, we bring a show to them to give them the wild experience. What do I mean by wild? Meaning for the day, I'm gonna make you feel like a queen, princess, king, knight, whatever you want to call it. Our targeting is like the kingdom. We look at it like the kingdom. It's just like if you was born before the kingdom. Let's just say in Britain, you go before the kingdom. When you
Right.
go before that, there's a certain way that you look. They give you the greatest of everything. So when we do Beauty for Ashes, we do the same thing. So we'll take a person and we'll beautify them from the head to their feet. Then we also will give them a lavish dinner where they could sit and eat fine dining. Then we also will provide them with the things that they need, which can be clothing, the shoes, the toiletry. One thing I do with Beauty for Ashes is why I touch the home is because you want them to go out here and look for a job, but no one will hire them the way they look. So with me in mind, I come to them and bring them together. Our aim is to always make them be fit for society. So when we fix you up, when you go out there looking for something, you go out there and conquer your world. You cannot get anything looking like, as they say, I don't want to use the word crazy, but I said it. So what we do, we make sure all the communities come together. When I do these shows, I make sure the jobs are there. Anyone that can provide shelter is there. Anyone that can provide hairstyles, whatever you can provide to make that person feel whole, that is what we bring to this hair show to bring the awareness of homelessness and hopefully that we can bring hope to an individual to let them know you might be down today, but we're going to make sure you up tomorrow. So
Oh,
these hair shows that I bring together is to bring you hope and let you know that you can live past a diagnosis. You are deserving and you are worth the greater things in life. And if God always give me the strength and the breath, I'm going to always bring something to you to make you feel important in life because it is important that you feel wanted, needed, and loved.
wow. That is so, oh my goodness, that is so powerful. And what's so powerful about what you're doing with this vision is that I understand that from the perspective of building our brand. I know that presentation matters. I know that if we want to go out into the world and if we want to have impact, that means first and foremost, people need to, at the very least, they need to trust you. And
Yes.
sometimes, in order to help someone feel that they can trust you, you have to present yourself in a trustworthy way. And that is branding. And what you're doing is you're helping people of a variety of different means be able to better themselves and to essentially to brand themselves in the way that in the way that would serve them best so that they can have access to opportunities that maybe they wouldn't normally have access to. I want to talk about the fact that there is an upcoming show this year and in November, right?
Yes.
November 21st, 2026. You are hosting an incredible event. You're going to be your latest Beauty for Ashes show.
Yes.
And it's called, and I love this, it's called Beyond the Courts in Modesty. I want you to tell us about the vision behind this year's event. How does this tie into the theme of spiritual metamorphosis?
Well, this is something that God gave me 3 years ago. And he wanted his children to know that they are royal. And so to bring this show, Beauty for Ashes #5, and I put in quotation, it's like the Bridgerton affair. When you watch this show, you get to see loyalty, you get to see royalty, you get to see the beauty, the honor, you get to see a lot of stuff that a lot of people dreamed of. And so when he gave me that, it's like going before the king and the queen. In order to go before the king and the queen, there's a certain look that you must have. And so I wanted you to have that royal effect. Looking forward to having horse and buggies and all those type of things. I want you to know what it feels like to be royal. I want you to experience what they experience in London when they go before the king. There, I want you to see the lavishness behind it. I want you to feel good because when you wear these outfits, it makes you feel good about yourself. It makes you feel honorable. It makes you feel beauty. It makes you feel a lot of things. It makes you feel important. And so this show is going to bring a lot of people. This will be one of my biggest shows that I've ever done. But it's going to bring people together because I want the world to know that you're wild. While you in the presence of the king, I want you to see and experience what it feels like to be royal. And that was the reason why I'm bringing this show together. It's going to make somebody that don't have hope, you will have hope. It's going to make somebody that feel you down and out, you're going to be lifted up. Because by the time we're done with you, you're going to feel royal for the night because the experience that you're going to get, the stories that you're going to hear. We have so many speakers coming that's going to share their stories, that's going to uplift the people. That's what it's all about. It's us uplifting each other, coming together in a setting of such a beautiful magnitude, rehearsing with one another, loving one another, and sharing our stories. The whole purpose of me doing everything I do is to share your story. I want you to get out there and share what is going on with you, that somebody else may have hope behind your story. That is the purpose of Beauty for Ashes, God's best friend. It is for you to share what God has done with you that others may have hope.
Tell me, I want to know, I just want to take a peek into your brilliant mind. Tell me about the moment that you had that inspiration to make this upcoming show a Bridgerton themed experience. Tell me about the moment that clicked for you and you said, aha, this is what we're going to do this year. Tell me about that.
One of the moments I can share with you is when the world actually seen Meghan Markle married into royalty. And to the young ladies, and I definitely want to add my sisters, but I want to add all sisters. To the young ladies that watch this woman marry into royalty, to the world that watched her wedding, and to the excitement in which they seen. They got to share her story. They got to see how it made her feel. It made them feel good. The excitement that people got behind seeing, and I gotta alliterate this, a Black woman marry into royalty and know that her life will be transformed from that day forward, knowing that she is going to get the lavish of everything, go from one thing and she is now into royalty. I want people, the same experience that you seen that day will be the same experience you will see on November 21st, 2026. You will know what it feels like to be royal. You will know what it feels like to be inside the kingdom. You would know what it feels like to have access. You would know what it feels like to feel the best that you can be and look the best. And then you want to showcase it. That's what it's all about. We're going to showcase how we feel, how we look. Because one thing I always say, when a woman and man look good, they feel good, then they go out and empower their world. By the time you're done, you will go out and empower your world by the testimonies, by the stories in which you will tell the world of what God has done for you.
On that note, I do want to know, because this is at this point, this is what, the sixth or the seventh show?
This is the fifth show. It would have been six, but we missed 2023. So we missed 21 because of COVID, but this is the fifth show. This is my
Okay.
fifth show. Yes.
So I want to tell me about the reception of previous shows. What were the takeaways? What was some of the things people were saying about their experience from previous shows? Just give us an idea of just how this has been received over the years.
Okay. Well, the last show I did was on the youth. And so we got such great response from that. Even my pastor came to me and told me, he said, "Oh my God, how you made the children feel." We had youth from 5-year old all the way up to 20, and they came in their beautiful attire. And we had other people giving their testimony. But when I tell you the young people stole the show, because what we did, well, we allowed them to come out in a fashion setting where we had the red carpet experience. And when they got on that red carpet and they got to show off the outfits in which they wore, when I tell you they looked good, they felt good, and the whole audience was taken by the children because the children felt royal. And that's one of the things I want people to have that access. We give the red carpet experience. I want you to know there were people that came up to me saying, "Oh my God, my child wanted," they weren't even in the show, but they wanted to walk the red carpet. Had I known that, I would have let their children walk the red carpet because I want you to know how I feel. I want them to know what those young people were feeling. And we got such a great response. It was one of the biggest show that I've ever done. The whole house was filled. And the people that came there in their outfits, they loved it. And so when we came together to see these kids, and I'm gonna tell you something, there was one child that was 5 years old that was hit by a car, pent up under the car
Oh
and
my
was left for dead. And that 5-year-old was at the show telling about her story. When you see the scars that was on her face from the car that hit her, the girl went through so many surgeries, but yet she was at that show that day, and she was telling all the young people how God saved her. This is what I do. Those kids were so inspired. There was another young lady that was going through. When all the young people seen that she was going through, they embraced her. They came up and hugged her. They gave her their information. We're going to see about you. This is what I bring together. I want people to come together to love up on each other. Let's help each other heal. That's what this show is about. Let's help each other heal.
Now, these some of these some of what you just described, we can see in the photos that are on the
Yeah.
website,
Yes, you can.
right?
Yes,
I
yes.
think I wanna encourage everyone who's listening to don't just take Sharon's word for it. Go to godsbestfriend.com and go to the events page, and you'll be able to see so many pictures from previous Beauty for Ashes tours. The last one was the thank you tour, right?
Yes, yes.
No, but past Beauty for Ashes shows, there's so many photos and you can see the looks on people's faces. You can see the pride, you can see the joy, you can
Yes.
see the happiness. I mean, you are giving out gifts. You people are walking down the red carpet. Every single person is dressed to the nine.
Yes.
And I see you walking around as the host with a microphone. I see you on the stage, and it's just incredible. And
Yes.
this is just a taste of what people can expect. This year in November, on November 21st, at the upcoming Beauty for Ashes, and the theme is Beyond the Courts in Modesty. I
Yes.
love that. That is really you are such a visionary. This is a vision that God gave to you,
Yes. He did.
and you are bringing this out into the world and affecting so many lives. And I just what an honor, what a real privilege it is to talk to you and to see the kind of impact that you're having out in the world. Now, I want to know November is a few months away, and I know you're probably hard at work right now preparing for this. What are some of the things that just tell me a little bit about? I mean, I don't know. Don't give away the whole secret sauce. I'm kind of curious because we're all entrepreneurs, and so I would be curious as you are preparing for this show. What are some of the things you have to do? What are some of the challenges or some of the logistical things that you have to kind of figure out or do in order to make something like this happen?
It's always when we found the vineyard, it's two of them that I'm interested in. And so I now have a team because all the other shows I did it myself. And so doing it yourself can be overwhelming, but this year I have a team. And so we're coming together now and we're joining forces in our ideas because we don't want to just keep it the same all the time. We want to be able to give scholarships to the children. We want to be able to give, gifts, anything that we can do to help a person to get ahead of themselves. We want to be able to do that. And so, like I said, this year is going to be the best. I got a team now, and the ideas that we're coming up with, they're amazing. The only challenge would be is really funding. Is really funding the event, and That has never been a challenge because people love to sponsor, but we would love to get bigger sponsors this year so that we could do a lot of things with the children. We want to be able to, like I said, scholarships, sponsor them to go on trips, maybe money in their pocket, clothe them, whatever we can do to allow these young people to know that they got a great future ahead of them, even though we're going through all the crazies that we're going through now, but they are our future. They are our tomorrow. And we want to we want to set their atmosphere straight so that they can go on and do what, when we're gone, they can continue to do what we're doing. So prayerfully this year, we'll get a lot of sponsors that can help us meet those demands. But that will probably be the one this year because it's going to be the biggest show I've done. But that's
Well,
it.
I'm curious for anyone listening who might want to participate. Maybe they're not local, maybe they are away, and the way that they can help is by offering a donation or some form of sponsorship or funding. How do they get in contact with you to be able to do that?
I would like them to go through the website, godsbestfriend.com. It is available that you can donate, sponsor a child, sponsor a senior. You can be a sponsor, period. If you wanna be a vendor in the show, you can do that as well. But definitely through godsbestfriend.com. And you can leave your donations there, and we'll take it from there. If you decide to do that, we do thank you, and thank you for being a part of us trying to get this out in a bigger fashion this year to help more than one person. We want to help a community of people, but yes, that definitely through godsbestfriend.com.
That's so what an easy way to allow people to participate. I mean, that's so beautiful. So if you're listening and you're saying, you know what, this is something that really impacts my heart and I want to be involved or I want to support this incredible vision. Maybe you have been in a place in your own life where you have needed to go through that cocoon stage and you've emerged a butterfly and God has blessed you and you want to give back,
Yes.
then there's clearly an opportunity to be able to give that blessing forward. So that would be at godsbestfriend.com. And now, Sharon, if there is one overarching message that you want our listeners to walk away with today regarding their own potential to become a beautiful butterfly, what would that be?
Remain in the process. Stay in the cocoon. Don't rush to come out. Allow God do the transformation. And when the time comes, you will emerge as the butterfly. And in my saying, I said, fly, butterfly, fly. Let the world see that you are coming out.
Wow. Sharon, you are such a visionary. Your story is just filled with so much inspiration. And
Yes.
the fact that you are willing to step out on faith and bring this to the larger public, to the larger community, that is such a blessing. And we are so lucky to have someone like you who has this vision that God has placed on their heart and who's willing to do what it takes to bring it to reality. That is such a gift. And we thank you for the work that you're doing. I'm so proud to have you on our show today to share this with our audience and so that they can learn from you and be inspired by you. I want to close out, Sharon, by asking you just one more question. And I want to know for those who are ready to seek help, for those who are maybe looking for resources, for those who might want to attend the next Beauty for Ashes event, where is the best place for them to connect and to learn more?
God'sBestFriend.com.
Godbestfriend.com. That's beautiful. All right, Sharon, I'll give you the last word. Is there anything else you want to leave us with today?
I just want to say thank you, Pierre, for this opportunity. Last thing I want to say is that I love you. I'm telling the audience that I love you. and I want to see you make it, and I'm here for you.
All right. Thank you for joining us on today's show. And for everyone listening, thank you for listening to this episode of Build Your Difference. This is really an opportunity and a beautiful moment where we're hearing from a visionary who was once on the show a few years ago and is now sharing with us these beautiful updates and the fact that God is continuing to bless their vision and to bring this to reality. If you're listening and you're inspired, reach out to Sharon, go to godsbestfriend.com, get involved. Everyone has a story. Thank you again for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.
You've been listening to another episode of the Build Your Difference podcast. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode, and if you have any comments or questions that you'd like us to cover, please let us know by chatting with our guidance team at mybranddesk.com. Just visit mybranddesk.com and click the Speak to a Guide button at the bottom corner of the screen. Just let us know your question or comment, and we'll take it from there. Stay tuned next week for more on today's topic or something new to help you live your entrepreneurial life to the fullest.